Hello everyone, it's me, NYSE Einstein from the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. We have had a wild and crazy ride today. This market opened up, rallied off the top for a little while, completely absorbed the fact that there was some sort of a dislocation in the tax reform deal that came in last night over how to finance it. I thought the market would be down 200 points this morning, and it was not, in fact, at all. We flatlined off the top, and then news came out about General Flynn, National Security Advisor for Trump, during the campaign and about 10 or 20 days into the administration, who apparently did a whole bunch of things that were obviously incredibly illegal. He's been on the cusp of madness for a while now. He ended up getting indicted, pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI. That's major. His son is involved in this one too. The market responded to it. At first actually did not respond to it, and then basically, all hell broke loose. Okay, rumors came out that he was going to turn on Mr. Trump. That would have potentially been a huge thing, and this market just suddenly fell off the rails. Okay, so there was a little bit of dislocation on the tax front this morning, and then the Flynn trade, which basically, implied that, and it still could happen. The market definitely responded in a funny way, but implied that Mr. Flynn had made a plea deal with the FBI, and was going to turn evidence against Mr. Trump. Well, that would dislocate this whole agenda, whole administration, and the whole United States in a certain way. The market sold from up 128 points to down 350, one fell swoop, absolutely off the chart. As we know, there is an inert and an underlying value to this market no matter what. People pushed the shorts, then they covered the shorts. It was as if there were two or three huge players that were pounding the market, covering the market, pounding the market, covering the market, bottomed out at down 350, and then basically rallied back off of that. That all happened around 11:30 this morning. We hit this bottom part, and then we just rallied back all the rest of the way. Most of the afternoon. So net at the end of the day, when they have these emotional reactions to things, whether the administration has not been that big a factor playing on this market at all, that this market is up on the dream of tax reform. That's one of the things. On large global growth, on basically a business-friendly community amongst the Trump administration. When you start dislocating that in a big way, you're going to see some fear in it. But it was emotional, it was intraday, it was headline-driven, and then the market said enough's enough. It doesn't really change the underlying story of this whole market. So they took the market back. We rallied almost all the way back. This market closed down 40 points. Russell down 7, SPY's down 5. Transport's down 80. Yes, there's red across the board. Sizable rally in WTI after a lot of the news coming out of Saudi Arabia, but relatively, while there's some red here in the marketplace, relative to down 350 points, a 400-point swing in the market with potential that this market could have been completely dislocated, by no means it was. So the underlying value is still here. People did not get scared off by this whole thing. Could there be another shoe to fall? Absolutely. Is that going to change the underlying foundation of this market? About corporate earnings, about tax reform, about anything? Absolutely not. So at the end of the day, what is going to happen? Administration comes in, administration goes out. Does it change the base of the economy? No. Will the tax reform thing be a big deal when it passes, and it feels like it will get courts closure? I think that's what made the market rebound in a big way during the afternoon. Absolutely. So the reason the market is up was reinforced by the end of the day. That turned around the negative headline that was scared off by the General Flynn trade. Net, we closed the week out, an incredible week. Records across the board. Yes, a little bit red, but that's all we got. So I'm done for the day. I'm exhausted. It's Friday. And the market has really tired me out this week. You got Einstein out for the day. Stick with the NYSE. Stick with this market. And I've told you all along, nothing is derailing this market. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Stick with it. I love you. See you tomorrow.